Hey yo everybody, welcome back to This Week in Esports and Gaming for the final week of May 2022. I'm your host 𝗠𝗿𝗶 and let's get right into it. For our first top 3 story, mobile is predicted to represent 61% of gaming consumer spending for the year of 2022 according to data.ai. The prediction also expects that the games market will reach $222 billion in spending this year, with $136 billion of that coming from mobile, as the market is 3.2 size the times of console market, which is pretty insane. I think a lot of people think that console is really big, and it is big, but mobile is even larger. From a pure numbers basis, mobile is dominant. Consumers spent more than $1.6 billion per week in Q1 2022 on iOS and Google Play games or apps, and that's a 30% increase from the pre-pandemic levels. It's also interesting to note that 75% of players surveyed, according to the IDC, stated they prefer in-game ads that will give them free content in exchange rather than a premium paid experience to avoid ads. So all this to say that mobile's on the up and up. I've been saying this for a long time. I'm actually very biased myself as I started personally playing games on mobile, but it's huge in most places outside the United States and in Europe. One of the main reasons that it's able to attract such large numbers is the accessibility of it, right? People who can't necessarily afford high-end PCs or consoles can flock to mobile, and most people have phones nowadays, which consists of many developing countries. The next thing I want to see is what the vision is between casual and hardcore mobile games, right? Like in regards to revenue and retention, as well as average revenue per user. For example, a Candy Crush and a PUBG mobile player, an eSport fan or just fan in general, may be vastly different in terms of those metrics. So I'm curious to see what those are like, but either way, I'm excited for the future of mobile. Belgium is going to introduce a tax shelter for video games. Belgium's federal government will introduce this shelter, which means that fiscal returns for investors will make it easier for game studios to raise funding for their titles, and this will come into effect by January 1st, 2023. They're still waiting for formal approval from their federal parliament as well as the European Commission, but this is a good sign for them. And this is similar to what I've seen from other countries trying to attract people to go to their country. I think one key example that I always see is the tourism, or the Ministry of Tourism for Thailand. They do a lot of these advertisements showing off Thailand and all the beautiful places and what you can visit and vacation to, and that's just the government making a move so that more people will go to that country, specifically Thailand, for tourism, right? In this case, it's to get more game developers and studios and employees to go to Belgium. I think it's a great attractor for them overall, who might be looking into a different location to expand into. And the Belgian games market has reached a 600 million euro valuation in 2021. This will only serve to push it even further. So I'm hoping that other countries do something similar to this to promote gaming studios and jobs to their respective nations. Overwatch League and Call of Duty League teams owe Activision Blizzard around $400 million. This comes after 2 years of payment deferrals due to COVID-19 relief from Activision Blizzard. And according to Jacob Wolf, the 20 franchise teams in Overwatch League owe around $6 to $7.5 million per team, and the CDL teams owe around $22.5 million each, which puts the estimates around $390 to $420 million. And Activision and Blizzard have received about $200 million from Overwatch League teams in the past 5 years, but that figure has not been released publicly for the Call of Duty League. So what does this mean for everyone? It shows that it's really hard not only for teams to make revenue and income, but that even that publishers have a struggle, doing this, and even if they're making huge AAA titles, that they also struggle to make a lot of revenue from these games as well. They're still owed a ton of money here, and Activision Blizzard runs 2 of the most expensive esports leagues in the world in regards to esports leagues and titles and things like that, and it shows with teams not being able to pay back much beyond the initial fee that they actually paid to get into those leagues. With all the scandals going on for Activision Blizzard as well, many of their sponsors pulled out too, so that they can't necessarily rely solely on in-game sales to recoup the cost of their esports leagues. And much is in the air with the Activision Blizzard Microsoft acquisition being reviewed, but I imagine that it will help tremendously if it does go through, as it will be on Microsoft's burden to actually relieve that financially. This is also a big reason why it's hard for certain games to become esports, because many game devs and publishers and studios don't have the resources, either financially or employee-wise, to handle the cost of an expensive esports division. So we'll see what Activision Blizzard does with all these pending payments that they need to get. As far as partnerships go, Esports Awards partners with Tyson Foods. They will collaborate on digital activations leading up to the main ceremony in December, and Tyson will be also featured as a part of a monthly spotlight for a chance to win a ticket to the actual awards themselves. Basically, I'm partnered with Disney on an apparel. They will introduce a tech fan version of Disney's iconic Mickey Mouse character called Mickey on the Grid for a merch collection. NB Gaming partnered with Oakley. All Optic players and talent will wear Oakley eyewear during online and LAN events as well. They've already worked with talent like 𝗠𝗿𝗶, so it makes sense to push them deeper into the esports space. Roblox partnered with Gucci. Similar to the Spotify collab with Roblox, Gucci now has a permanent Gucci town inside Roblox to show off its products in a virtual setting to its fans. Gucci says that more than 20 million players visited the Gucci Garden in-game last year, so that's a good sign for them overall. Rally Cry partnered with ForceCon. Rally Cry will produce 3 esports tournaments across Memorial Day weekend in San Antonio. Members of the United States Armed Forces will compete in Halo, Rocket League, as well as Fortnite, which includes all 6 branches of the United States military. As far as finance and M&A goes, it's a pretty light week. Indie studio Firestoke raised a $2.2 million seed round. This was led by Hero Capital with participation from Behold VC as well as TechStart Ventures. The funds will be used to expand both the games and the teams for the studio. As far as workforce changes go, David James Prassel joins Midnight Society as a senior game designer. He comes from 343 Studios where he worked on tech and lighting aspects of Halo Infinite. He was also at 2K in the past and has lots of experience with game design from previous roles. Lauren Perietra joins Playboy as the VP of Creator and Influencer Marketing. She most recently spent 2.5 years at Twitch as the global head of creator marketing, and she has lots of marketing experience in the past with the NFL as well as Red Bull. Larry Plotnick joins Big Fish Games as the president. He's a seasoned tech and video game executive as he spent nearly the last 11 years at Amazon overseeing video games as well as the prime gaming area of the company. He will support innovation and development on all games. Magali Huat has been promoted to the gaming marketing lead at YouTube. Magali has been in the video game industry for quite some time now. She's worked on the agency side with the Famous Group as well as Good People Agency and POP before moving over to Warner Bros. And eventually YouTube. She was previously the head of game publishers for all of YouTube Gaming. Paulina Tornqvist has joined Meta as a producer for VR games. She's well versed in the gaming space and does lots of LinkedIn content as well. Paulina has worked at Activision, Ubisoft, Travian Games, and has even started her own game development team called Mateo Gamehouse in Finland. She will now be working on producing VR games for Meta. Joseph Bustos joins Capcom as a social media and community manager. He worked in gaming for most of his career and he's done social media for 2K, EA, and Nintendo before joining Capcom to oversee social media and community management. Callum Godfrey joins quietly as the head of casual mobile games. He's a plethora of gaming experience with EA, King, Activision, and Wargaming in a variety of producer roles. He will now lead all internal and external casual projects for Quietly. Sky Shows joins Amazon Game Studios as a creator program manager. He's actually my fellow colleague and at one point my boss, so extra special shout out to Sky here. He joins Amazon as a career program manager after nearly 2 years at PowerSwag where I worked with him personally. Before that, he worked at Noise, The Brand Amp, and Into the AM doing influencer marketing. More Shaveka Lad joins Overwolf as the head of growth marketing. She has 5.5 years of gaming marketing experience with Playtika as she joins from their user acquisition team. She'll be overseeing all growth marketing initiatives for Overwolf now. Anita Luo joins Samsung as a gaming marketing manager. She has a variety of experience in writing, social media, as well as TV hosting. She spent 6 years as a TV presenter for Phoenix TV in China and was most recently doing marketing consulting for Oni Creative on a variety of tech clients. As far as new stuff goes, ESL Gaming have announced the IEM Rio Major for 2022. This is taking over the canceled ESL 1 Major that was supposed to happen in 2020, and this is going to be happening in October of this year. All tickets are officially sold out for the 18,000 person Genoese Arena, and people are actually wanting them to get a larger arena due to the huge support Brazilian fans have for CSGO. That's it for this week in esports and gaming. I want to give a quick shout out to James Fudge and AFK Gaming for the People on the Move newsletter where I get a good chunk of my information for workforce changes news from as well. If you're interested in deeper dives of workforce trends as well as changing and hiring and movement within the gaming and esports industry as far as workforce changes go, please go check out the link in the description and support them as well. With that being said, thank you so much for support everybody and have a great day.